security, the man. Okay,
our officials tonight, Brazauskas, Arteaga, and Bakar from Lithuania, Spain, and Israel, respectively. They'll be in charge of the action today in a Euroleague title game. Panathinaikos, the Greens, hailing from Athens, will take on CSKA from Moscow. Look at our starting lineups. Spanoulis, Purporoglu, Fotsis, Nicholas, and Pekovic up front for Athens. Smotis, Holden, Lorbeck, Langdon, and Karapa. One name we don't see in there, Gail Goodrich, is the man who scored 29 points in the semifinals, Siskauskas.
Yeah, well, obviously, Coach Bassina is going to use him as a sixth man coming off the bench. He did not start Friday either, so he's used to that role, but certainly at the end of the game, you would expect to see him in there. One of the key, I think, matchups to watch here is Perkalou, the defender for Panathinaikos. We don't talk a lot about him, but he's a solid defender and really a complimentary player. But he's going to have to guard these wing players for CSKA. I'm talking about Siskauskas. I'm talking about Karapa. And I'm talking also about Langdon, who's going to come off picks. So though his role is going to be a key one for Panathinaikos. I think also you got to have to look at see how they do going inside. They were very strong in the semifinals with Pekovic and Batiste.
Ready to jump it up in a Euroleague championship game. Panathinaikos in their greens will control the opening tip. CSKA wearing their whites. Holtzis out high. They're looking for Pekovic on the block. They've got him. Right back out. Little two-man game with he and Spanoulis. Pekovic going strong against Lorbeck. Can't hit. Follow won't go for Fotsis. And CSKA gets a stop on the opening trip.
Yeah, as we expected. We went right inside to Pekovic, trying to establish some inside posts, and I think CSKA will do the same with Lorbeck.
Here is Lorbeck among two defenders, going for the jump hook in the lane. It goes down, may have been tipped by Karapa. Could go to Lorbeck or Karapa. In any event, CSKA has opened the scoring.
Looking to go inside again to establish that post position. Now they come out with a high pick and roll.
Spanoulis has to back it out. Pekovic battling inside again. Now it's out in the corner. Foltzis, tough step back jumper. Tipped around, rebound by Smotis.
And right away we can see that CSKA is really well prepared for that screen and roll, which is the trademark of Panathinaikos. And this is going to be a battle of defense as well as the post play and the rebounding.
That is Holden with the pull-up jumper, and it's a 4-0 start.
Well, Holden, of course, has a great deal of experience. This is his 7th Final Four, all with CSKA.
Tough shot in the lane. First basket for Spanoulis and Panathinaikos.
Spanoulis coming out with attacking the basket, which he does so well. Coming off the screen and roll, and takes it right to the bigs. Makes a terrific shot.
Trajan Langdon, a foul in the lane. As Fotsis was battling with Smotis, it'll go against Panathinaikos and Anthony Fotsis. CSKA ball underneath. Langdon to trigger it in. Lorbeck on top for Smotis. Now in the hands of point guard Holden. Right inside for Lorbeck. Great position, and he puts it in.
Yeah, great screen by Langdon underneath. Screening off the big man. Lorbeck coming from the weak side, and a good entry pass. CSKA also trying to establish that early post position.
Spanoulis drives and kicks. Purporoglu can't hit the three. Offensive rebound, Fotsis, and puts it back.
Yeah, nice offensive rebound. Thought he might have got away with a little bit of a travel there when he shuffled the feet, but it's a count for 2 for Panathinaikos.
That first basket, it looked like could have been Lorbeck or Karapa. They gave it to Karapa on the tip-in. Pull up 3 for Langdon from deep. Hits nothing. And will go over to Panathinaikos. Langdon, of course, with a Final Four MVP in CSKA's championship last year. Fotsis back to Spanoulis. Here's Pekovic. Surrounded by 4 defenders. He was forced to give it up, and a 3-second violation against Panathinaikos.
And you really got to like the way the defense really collapsed on Pekovic that time. CSKA very aware of Pekovic in that post position in the paint area, and they just swarmed him, forcing the kick out.
Well, Pekovic and Batiste in a two-man, big-man domination in the semifinals over Olympiacos. Pekovic had 15 first-half points and dominated from the get-go. That has not been the case so far here. Pirapa gets the slam. A 4-point lead for CSKA. Spanoulis.
Good help.
Rounded. Bounce pass on the back cut. Count it. No, they're going to get a foul before against Panathinaikos. Offensive foul, wave off the basket.
Here comes off the screen. Ball bounces back to him. And then the other pass by Holden.
There are the shooting numbers early. CSKA's hit 4 of 5. Make it 5 of 6. Holden hits a hot shooting start for the defending champs, and they're up by 6. Drew Nicholas on the drive. Nowhere to go with it as CSKA shuts down the lane. Nicholas tries again. Now it's Spanoulis wide open for 3, and he hits.
Good ball movement at that time by Panathinaikos. But I really like the defense that CSKA's come out with. They're going behind the screen and roll. They're stepping out. They're not allowing Spanoulis to get at will into the paint area.
Langdon. Runner in the lane.
CSKA off to a great start here, moving the basketball, hitting the open man. This is a real team. They share the basketball and do a great job of working together. There's Holden going behind the screen. Spanoulis nowhere to go.
And a whistle inside as Pekovic was battling for position. That foul will go against Lorbeck. And Gail, we definitely have seen a major adjustment from CSKA that we didn't see from Olympiacos.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, they're playing it very smart. And, of course, Holden is a great defensive player with a lot of quickness. But they are really stepping out. And now this time they let him get down the lane.
Spanoulis, another drive. He's got 7 points. 7 of the 9, keeping Panathinaikos afloat early.
Well, he is tough. There's no question. That's why he was second team All-Euro this year.
No shot. The foul happening before as Spanoulis fouled Holden.
We're going to see there. He's out there. What's his name? Karapa gets caught trying to help a little bit too far. Spanoulis goes down the lane. No help. He's able to take it all the way to the rim.
So it'll be CSKA to inbound. Langdon comes out, and in comes Siskauskas. He will inbound it. The hero from the semifinals. His 29-point performance, 25 coming in the second half comeback. Lifting CSKA to the championship game of Euroleague for the 4th straight year. Going in the lane. Rises up, can't hit his first attempt. Focuses the rebound.
Yeah, good defense that time by Panathinaikos. Forced a tough fall-away jump shot by Siskauskas.
Down low, Pekovic with great position. No basket. The foul happening before the shot on the floor. If it's Lorbeck, it's his second.
Yeah, and how strong is Pekovic? He just runs right down underneath the rim and just then pivots and gets the defensive man on his back and then just backs him down and backs him down. The good entry pass, and Lorbeck at that he's beat at that point by the time he gets the ball.
And this is where we're going to see how CSKA can deal with the big men down there. The team concept has been great. They've kept them out. Now we go to the depth of the bigs for CSKA. And is it there?
Yeah, and that is going to be one of the answers, is how can they now continue to guard Pekovic. And, of course, we're going to see Batiste here in a little bit. And he comes in on. He's a monster down low. We see it right there. They're going to a zone, a 1-2-2 zone. And look at Smolis. Smolis and Pekovic are now banging each other down below.
Sasha Khan has checked in early for the second straight game in the Final Four. He switched out on Spanoulis. Spanoulis tries to go by. Cannot hit the bank. Pekovic the offensive rebound. A fresh shot clock for Panathinaikos. Down low, Pekovic, great position, goes to the little hook, and he's got it. Panathinaikos back within 1.
Yeah, you can see they're going to continue to pound the ball inside, and they got a second opportunity with the offensive rebound. CSKA was out of position, and Pekovic just was able to, once again, get the ball in low.
Karapa into Kahn. Back out for Smotis. His first attempt. No on the three. Rebound to Nicholas, so bring it up himself. Siskauskas on him. Nicholas, the drive. And banks it in. Panathinaikos has their first lead.
And a great individual one-on-one play that time. Nicholas using his quickness, going right at Siskauskas.
First basket for Nicholas. Catch and shoot from the elbow. No for Siskauskas. Rebound for Feroglu. He will bring it up himself for the Greens. Back out for Spanoulis. Tried to fire it inside for Pekovic. He was being held by Sasha Kahn.
Good. Here we go, Nicholas one-on-one, and he just goes right by Siskauskas. Makes a tough shot, but he does have that quickness, so I think a little bit on Siskauskas.
A 6-0 run for Panathinaikos to take the lead. Motsis pushes it back out. Now in the hands of Spanoulis. Karapa out there on the point of that defense. Back into Pekovic against Smotis. Knocks him over. Offensive foul.
Yeah, Smotis, very clever defensive player, and we're going to take a look. He gets nice position. That's the time before. Then there's the offensive board. Lorbeck finally gets the rebound, but they're going right inside. Look at this. I mean, he just overpowers you when he gets the ball in that low. Good look that time by Spanoulis inside. Went off the hands of Pekovic. The pass thrown a little bit too hard.
CSKA with the ball. Down by 1. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. J.R. Holden. 7 straight Final Fours with CSKA. He's been there for all of them. No other team in the Final Four era has made it 7 straight years. It's 4 straight title games for CSKA, looking for their 3rd title in that stretch. Miss from top, poke free. Siskauskas has it back.
Boy, and it is going to get physical there on the boards. Both teams going at it hard. Right now, Panathinaikos has got a little edge on the rebounding.
Pull up 3 for Holden. That one won't go. Rebound, Fultz is falling to the ground. He offloaded it to Nicholas. Nicholas, Pekovic goes for the dunk and is fouled by Karapa.
And we got a technical, I think, also.
Although Bradovic is asking for it, it looked like the official had at least begun to signal for it. A wistful nod from Heitor Messina, the CSKA head coach.
Panathinaikos doing a nice job running the floor. The bigs that go up here, he hangs on the rim. Certainly the foul.
So, but I think due to the technical, he'll get the free throws and a technical free throw on the ball. So this could be a very costly trip for CSKA.
You know, in a game like this also, every possession is so important. I mean, the last thing you want is technicals, and then also, you know, be able to get the ball back.
It's very unclear what earned the technical from Karapa and any of those other looks at it.
He must have said something to the official. Yeah, it had to.
Pekovic's numbers, 20 points in less than 20 minutes in the semifinal victory over Olympiacos.
Well, you know, he led the Euroleague. I mean, right now it's free throw practice, but he led the Euroleague in scoring and in performance index on a per-minute basis. He is really an offensive force in there for Panathinaikos.
So he's getting his 2 free throws plus the 2 technical free throws, the possession that comes with it, the technical that is. It was already a 6-0 run that Panathinaikos was on prior to that. And now 4 points on this trip alone with the potential for as many as 6 or even 7. It's a 10-0 run for the Greens.
And they are battling in the post position. Now come out for the high pick and roll.
Inside Pekovic, little bobble, knocked away. Siskauskas couldn't quite control. Panathinaikos ball underneath, 9 on the shot clock.
CSKA was very fortunate at that time. Pekovic really had a clear path to the basket.
Spanoulis catch and shoot off the inbound. Diamantidis just into the game. Got the offensive board. rebounding story. Panathinaikos dominating the backboards early. Folks, it's the big man who can shoot threes, but that one was way off the mark. 2 minutes to go. 10-0 run for Panathinaikos has given them the lead.
Well, you can just sense the intensity both on the court and with the crowd here.
Hesitation move. Dunk home from Kahn off the great penetration of Holden.
Boy, he went up there with force also. I mean, he really put it down. Not to be denied.
Stops the 10-0 run. 3-point game. Foltzis this time wants to drive it in. Draws the contact, and 2 free throws coming for Anthony Foltzis.
Foltzis doing a great job going to his strong hand, the right side. Putting a lot of pressure on Kahn at the defensive end to help out. Here we see the nice dish on the time before down, and on the time down before, and Kahn going up strong with the dunk on a terrific pass by Holden.
So we've got a timeout on the floor in the first quarter. Incredible intensity as you would expect with the Euroleague title on the line. Time now to take a bit of a flashback. Paris in '96, Panathinaikos and CSKA doing battle with the Euroleague on the line. Yes, you recognize that guy. Dominique Wilkins was a star for Panathinaikos in '96 when he left the NBA and delivered a championship to Panathinaikos. Then 2 years ago in Athens, the home court of Panathinaikos, they paid off the Final Four, hosting with a Euroleague title, defeating CSKA. And Gail, as we look at this, the only thing standing between a potential 4th straight title today for CSKA is Panathinaikos pulling off that win in '07.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And who was on that Panathinaikos team but Siskauskas? He was the MVP of the Final Four that year. So he has an opportunity, actually, if he can win today, to be on a championship team for the last 3 years.
3 years in a row,
yeah. 2 different teams.
There are the CSKA fans. They got off to a good start, saw their team get up by 6 points in the early going and a 10-4 lead. But from that point, Panathinaikos has gotten things going themselves, rode a 10-0 run to push their lead to as many as 5. And right now, Foltzis makes it a 4-point game.
Well, they're doing a nice job of really banging the ball inside and really taking advantage of the strength, which is at their post position. And as a result, they got the lead right now. But don't count this CSKA team out. CSKA, you know, they have a great will. They have always figured out a way to win. And right now, Panathinaikos putting on a little bit of full court pressure.
Yeah, CSKA's got no quit in them. There's no doubt about it. They can weather the storm. We'll see what happens. This figures to go right down to the end. A foul out front. Mike Batiste has just checked into the game for Panathinaikos, and he commits the foul as he hedged on the screen.
Good idea. Really poor execution that time by Batiste. Good idea to step out and force the dribbler wide, but no need to put that much pressure 35 feet out from the basket.
Siskauskas gives it up. Terrence Morris on top. Langdon guarded tightly by Spanoulis. Now it's Holden. Going by Jasikevičius and puts it in over Batiste.
Boy, he really left Jasikevičius that time with his great quickness in the crossover dribble. Going right to the hoop with a nice finish.
He's made all 3 of his shots today. J.R. Holden, 6 points, leading number for CSKA, who trails by 3. Batiste inside, and he lays it in.
Geez, what a terrific pass, and again, the great screen and roll. And when these centers set that screen out high, and then they just go right to under the basket, and they take up space, and they get good distribution from their teammates.
Siskauskas, and fouled at the elbow. Costa Tsartsaris has checked in. Number 12 in green for Panathinaikos. He gets the foul.
Yeah, and here we see Holden on the last play down, just driving to the hoop, shooting over the big man. You know, you watch this game, and you watch how CSKA runs their offense and how players, they move so well without the basketball, using screens, curling, going along the baseline, popping out. This is a well-coached team, the CSKA team, as is Panathinaikos. He missed the free throw.
Yeah, he missed one of his last ones in the semifinal against Barcelona, stopping a 34 consecutive free throw made streak. Now he's missed 2 in a row. Incredible. 3 of his last 4. Newsflash.
Yeah, that is
a 90% free throw shooter.
It is absolutely very, very unusual.
It's not going to cost them, though, because CSKA, hustling for the rebound, was able to force it out of bounds off Panathinaikos. Spanulis is going to check out for the Greens. Berberoglu back in. He'll guard the inbound.
He's going to guard Siskauskas.
Here's Holden. Now Siskauskas driving to the baseline. Nice fake from Langdon. Pulls up for the 2. Rolls out. And Batiste the rebound. Oh, tough shot for Diamantidis as we come to the end of the first quarter. Tried the quick turnaround with the clock winding down. That will fall away, but they're through 1 quarter of play in Berlin at O2 World, the Euroleague championship game. And Panathinaikos, after a slow start, has taken control of things with a bit of hot shooting and some intensity as well. A 21-16 lead for the team from Greece, taking on the mighty CSKA team from Moscow. Second quarter is on the way from Berlin. 21-16. Panathinaikos has the advantage heading for the second. Welcome back to our coverage here on ESPN of the Euroleague championship game. Panathinaikos versus CSKA from O2 World in Berlin, Germany. Mark Brown along with Gail Goodrich. A 7-point lead for Panathinaikos as the first points of the second quarter were just scored by Demetrius Diamantidis to stretch the lead to a largest of the game. 7 points at the moment.
Well, right away now as we go into the second quarter, you look at Panathinaikos, and Panathinaikos is really controlling the boards and doing a nice job. They've also been to the line 6 times. CSKA has not been to the line, and that's sort of been the difference right now in what has really been a very aggressive played ball game thus far.
Goes to Sartsaris, misses on the 3. And here comes Holden the other way, running the show for CSKA. Smodis. Now it's Kahn. Hand off to Langdon. Langdon trouble with the handle. 8 on the shot clock. Into the hands of Holden. Now Smodis on the block. 3. Got to go. Turnaround jumper. And a foul on Sartsaris.
Smodis got bailed that time. They played very good defense until the very end of the shot clock. Fall away jumper. You let him take that shot. You don't foul him. You put pressure on him, but you don't foul him. It's right here. There's a little bump. There's the reach. Official had a good angle on it.
And Smodis missing from the line, so CSKA hasn't had a lot of opportunities at the free throw line, but they are not cashing in when they've got it.
Well, there's a 6-point differential right now between Panathinaikos and Moscow at the line. And you know, if you look at Moscow, CSKA, they're shooting 61% for 2s, haven't got made a 3-pointer, haven't made a free throw, and they are getting out rebounded. So they've got to pick up their game here.
Zydrunas Jasikevičius had a great game in the semifinal. Turnover here. Who touched it last? They'll say Panathinaikos did, so CSKA will still have a chance to cash in on that turnover.
Yeah, Panathinaikos really dodged a bullet that time. The anticipation by Siskauskas, and then the deflection there by Jasikevičius. That was, it looked like an easy 2 on the breakout.
Here's Kirapa in the corner. Across to Holden. Out of the trap. All the way across Kirapa again. Same spot on the baseline. And it rattles out. But Panathinaikos can't clear the board. So it'll stay with CSKA. Smodis keeping it alive for the defending champs. Langdon to trigger it in. Trailing by 6. Smodis back out for Langdon. Screens for him. And now again. Smodis from the baseline. And he's got it. Great shooting big is Smodis.
Yeah, he really steps out there on a pick and pop. Knocks it down. Good 2-man game that time by Langdon and Smodis.
Panathinaikos with a 4-point lead. Kirapa called for the foul, knocking Batiste to the ground.
He said, what did I do? First of all, I'm not sure he's strong enough to knock Batiste to the ground.
Not without a little help from Batiste.
No, there's a pick and pop here, right here, and the slow rotation that time by Batiste. Smoltz just rises up and shoots, and we know he can do that.
Smoltz, a big part of these CSKA championship teams. They've won 2 of the last 3 EuroLeague titles, aiming to make it 3 of 4. 4th consecutive appearance in the EuroLeague title game. Just an incredible feat so far. Panathinaikos, if they can pull this off tonight, they'll have won 2 of the last 3 EuroLeague titles, that is. Lots to be determined here. 4-point lead for the Greens. Jasikevičius. Nicholas. Jasikevičius for 3, and he's got it. Panathinaikos back up by 7.
Yeah, drive to the paint area and then kick. Drive to the paint, bring the defense to you, and then kick out to the wing where Jasikevičius was wide open for the 3.
Here's Zizis just into the game, gives to Smoltz. Smoltz working on Sartsaris, who's got the 2 fouls. Repost here for the Slovenian big man. Now it's Siskauskas. Draws 2 defenders. 3 on the shot clock. Gotta go. It's Siskauskas, just had to fire it up. Well, Panathinaikos with some nice defense here, affecting the CSKA offense. Diamantidis will try the 3, and he's got it. It's all going right now for Panathinaikos. Largest lead of the game.
And I think CSKA needs a timeout. They need to talk about this if you look at what's going on.
5 points for Diamantidis. Panathinaikos the turnover. Diamantidis leads the break. Nicholas in transition. Buries the pull-up. What a run for the team from Athens. And there is that timeout you're asking for, Gail, but maybe a bit late at that as Nicholas gives Panathinaikos the 12-point advantage and all the momentum.
Right now, we're seeing the break there, the nice pass and the pull-up. They're shooting with a lot of confidence right now. Take the shot. There's Diamantidis. He drills one. And right now, CSKA has got a problem because CSKA, they do not have a postman who can score. Khan is in there, but Khan isn't even looking to shoot the basketball. So it's really they're playing 4-on-5 at this particular point.
Another look back to 2006 in Prague at David Vanderpool with an outstanding game in the EuroLeague title game. Vanderpool now an assistant coach on the CSKA squad, but was a very important player for that CSKA championship team in 2006. They would lose to Panathinaikos in 07, then win the EuroLeague title again last year. And we've had an opportunity to wire up those refs and hear some of the things that they chat about during the timeouts.
So, okay, I think the first quarter was a little bit too rough.
Yes.
Let's aggressive. Let's keep cleaning in the second, okay?
All right, they thought a little too rough and tumble. There was a quick look at David Vanderpool, who's now moved to an assistant coach for CSKA after helping them to the 2006 EuroLeague championship. But CSKA in a bit of a spot here, down 12 in the second quarter.
Yeah, and Messina has he's now come in with Morris at the center position or Smoltz. They really are bigs that are going to not play without him.
Another turnover. Diamantidis pushing it. No number. CSKA was back. And they will set it up this time. Batiste battling in the paint. Smoltz is called for the foul.
We're going to take another look right here, and I don't know. It could have really gone. I mean, Batiste really goes down low. Smoltz now has his second foul, and this could be a factor.
Sure could.
Yeah,
because he was the remaining biggest big that they have on the floor, but the third biggest guy that they have on the roster.
CSKA's big men are really perimeter-type big men, and with Kahn in there, he really doesn't have a lot of offensive moves. I mean, he can score if he gets the ball low from a pass, as we saw earlier, but their bigs are really perimeter-type bigs, except for Lorbeck. Lorbeck, of course, picked up that second foul early, so they're having to make an adjustment. We'll see how they do here, as they've really, in a sense, gone small with their bigs.
And I think this is where we've talked about it before, Gail. The potential Achilles heel for CSKA is just this: the size and strength of the bigs that they have, and maybe the lack of depth and real power guys.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We're going to take a look at Jasikevic here, who has really made a terrific career in
Barcelona 03 is what we're looking at.
Exactly. And then, of course, with Maccabi, he has had a great deal of success. Went to the NBA for a couple of years, and then now is back, and just a really smart heads-up type player, a leader out on the court, a good outside shooter, and has really brought a lot of depth to the guard position here for Panathinaikos.
Well, they won the Euroleague title in 03 with Barcelona, those back-to-backs with Maccabi, including the MVP of the 05 Euroleague Final Four. Sartsaris, meanwhile, trying to work down low. It gets the roll over Morris.
And I'm impressed with the nice little moves that time by Sartsaris, but once again, the ability to post up and get the defense on your back by the Panathinaikos players. They have really done a nice job in getting that ball and getting the post position, making it very difficult to guard.
Langdon misses the floater. Now Panathinaikos getting stops all the time. A 12-3 run right now in the second quarter has them on top by a game-high 14. Down low, Batiste. Schmotis has 2 fouls. This one will go against Batiste, the offensive.
And Schmotis really sold that defensive flop there, sort of a flop there. Now he goes boom. You can't do that, but he sold it as well. I thought, but give Schmotis credit. Did a nice job of playing the defense there.
That will be the second foul on Mike Batiste.
So fouls could be a factor here late in the ball game, as everybody now is starting to pick up 2 fouls. The bigs here: Lorbeck with 2, Batiste with 2, Schmotis with 2.
Schmotis tried to screen for Holden. Holden went baseline instead and drew the foul.
Well, Schmotis, Holden, we really see the quickness and his ability to penetrate and get to the hoop. Saw the opening along the baseline and just blew by Nicholas.
So Nicholas will be whistled.
Attention with Obradovic, he's back into the commission. Warning! Yes.
Now the officials talking about Panathinaikos head coach Obradovic. There he is, the only man who has ever, as a head coach, won 6 Euroleague titles. He's done it with 4 different teams. That also an all-time record. He's done it 3 times with his current team, Panathinaikos. 2000, 2002, and of course the epic 2007 final against CSKA, where they won 93-91.
Well, there's no question, Mark. We have the 2 most successful coaches in EuroLeague basketball here tonight.
There's the numbers for Holden so far. 9 points on the evening. Has played extremely well. Helped CSKA get out to that hot start where they led 10-4 early. From that point on, it has been a very powerful performance by Panathinaikos.
Yeah, you look at Holden. Holden averaged 7 points a game during the season. He's just a leader out. He does what's necessary to win. Generally recognized as a defensive player, an assist man. But when he needs to score, he steps up.
Jasikevic just misses on the pull-up 3. CSKA down by a dozen. They will not panic, that's for sure. Siskauskas. Langdon. Sasha Khan. 3 on the shot clock. He's got to go. Got to do something. And he doesn't get it off. A 24-second violation.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by his inability to really create some kind of a shot for himself. And, you know, you give him the ball, and it's a little unfair. You give him the ball with about 6 seconds to go, and he really doesn't have the ability or the moves right now for this young player. And he's sort of caught. Well, what do I do with it? And that's difficult right now for CSKA because they only have 4 players that are able to really put the ball in the basket.
Attention, Bradley. Attention.
Well, it sounds like what they're saying is keep an eye, keep an ear on Obradovic. He's getting to maybe the edge of a possible technical foul.
Well, you know, there is a commissioner that sits at the desk that really sort of oversees this game, and I think Obradovic was really talking to the commissioner and obviously complaining about the officiating.
Let's listen to Messina.
Okay, slowly, try to come back. Try to steal.
Come on, a lot of game left. A lot of game left. Just keep going. Let's go.
Okay, no panic in that huddle. Is it Messina saying, you know, just let's slowly try to come back here?
Well, they've been there before, and this is a very poised team, a very experienced team. And Messina, at this point, he's coached. And he's taught these kids, the men, of how to play. At this point, it's execution. And again, talking about patience, playing their game. And he feels strongly that if they do that, they're going to be as successful.
Well, it's always worked in the past. We will see what happens. Pekovic stripped on the way up. It'll stay Panathinaikos ball underneath. Still 13 on the shot clock. Jasikevicius to trigger it in all the way out for Diamantidis. And Diamantidis will try the three. His second three-pointer of the game. He's got 8 points in the first half.
Well, Panathinaikos is getting everything they want right now, and they're shooting the basketball very well. 3 for 6 from three-point range.
And now
CSKA has yet to make a three-pointer.
A 15-point advantage, largest of the game. 6 on the shot clock for Langdon. Gives to Kahn. And Kahn travels. You know, Gail, you got to think maybe there's some method to the madness of the Panathinaikos defense. It ends up in the hands of Kahn quite often.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, he's not a scorer. Here, Diamantidis last time down. Look at the rotation. Really nice shot. Great follow-through. They want the ball to go to Kahn. So they are really guarding the 5-on-4 and giving Kahn the ability to handle the ball, let him get the ball, because he really is, and offensively is not gifted right now.
Pekovic keeps it alive, and Panathinaikos will control the possession again. 3:36 to go in the first half. 15-point lead. Diamantidis on the drive-in simply lost it.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. That's a 6th turnover for Panathinaikos. Diamantidis, of course, was voted the top defensive player of the year for the 5th straight time.
The only man who's ever won the award since its inception 5 seasons ago. Siskowski's catch and shoot from on top. Can't find the range here in the final after a phenomenal performance. Career high 29 points in the semifinals, 25 of them in the second half, pulling out the victory over Barcelona just to get to this point. But tonight, it has been all Panathinaikos. Pekovic had his pocket picked by Holden, and then Jasikevicius fouls to stop the transition.
Yeah, great defensive help by Holden coming from the blind side, the reach in. Just great anticipation, and of course then we get the foul to stop the action. Well, Panathinaikos to set up their defense.
And Diamantidis will come out. Was a big spark in the second quarter with 8 points for Panathinaikos, helping push that lead to a game-high 15, which is where we sit at the moment. 2:45 to go in the first half. It's a 13-2 run for Panathinaikos.
Good trap that time by Panathinaikos on the defensive end.
Near turnover. Siskowskis, 3 on the shot clock. Little leaner finally hits. Siskowskis hopes this will take the lid off for him. It's his first points.
And we talk about CSKA's defense all the time, but Panathinaikos has really stepped up their defense tonight. They're doing a nice job of guarding and defending against this good CSKA offensive team.
Catch and shoot. Boatsis hits. from deep along the sideline. A 16-point lead. A new high. Holden takes the baseline and is fouled by Foxes. No shot happening on the drive.
Here's Siskaskas going, wisely pulls up as the defense collapses on the driving lane. Getting some encouragement from his teammates on the bench.
For the second game for CSKA, Lorbeck got 2 early fouls in the first quarter, and Itor Messina has decided to keep him on the bench for, again, what's going to appear like the remainder of the half. That decision worked out well for him in the comeback victory against Barcelona on Friday.
Well, there is no panic at CSKA, and that starts at the top, and Messina has got a lot of patience. He's got a lot of faith, a lot of confidence in this team, and as we saw in Friday night's game, Lorbeck came back and had a terrific third quarter and second half, and I'm sure that Messina is expecting and hoping that he'll do the same.
Here's Spanoulis. Nicholas. Ball was tipped by Panathinaikos. 8 on the shot clock. Spanoulis trying to get into the lane. Now will settle for the 3. And why not? He buries it. Panathinaikos can't miss right now in the second quarter.
They are really shooting the basketball well.
Nobody watched out for Holden leaking out, who cashed in a quick 2 at the other end.
Well, Panathinaikos is hitting everything they throw up right now. 5 for 10. Now they go back inside to Pekovic.
Pekovic was stripped. Foxes has it. Looking for a friend. Nicholas catching fire from on top. Won't get the roll, but a foul in the rebounding action. It'll go against Pekovic, and this could be a factor for Panathinaikos as the big man. They don't want him to start picking up fouls.
Good call. Good call. Great call.
It is the second on Pekovic.
On the floor. On the floor.
Pekovic arguing his case. Let's see.
Really good defense here, but Spanolis freezes up and defender and just makes the 3.
Spanoulis with 10 points. That leads Panathinaikos as Sasha Khan hits the first free throw. Doesn't get many opportunities at the line. Just took 8 free throws in 8 total appearances prior to the Final Four. A 14-point lead for Panathinaikos. Here's Pekovic. Little bobble. Now in traffic. Blocked by the helping Morris. Jasikevicius collected it and was fouled by Panathinaikos.
CSKA did a nice job that time of really helping on the big man on Pekovic down low. They got the block. Jasikevicius was able to pick up the loose ball. There's the help. We have 3 men around him. Morris gets the block. Jasikevicius comes up with the ball.
Pekovic is going to come out, replaced by Batiste, who also has 2 fouls. Under a minute to go in the first half. Panathinaikos in control of this game at the moment with a 14-point lead. Holden fouls Spanoulis out front, then tosses the ball back at him.
You might get the feeling that CSKA's getting a little bit frustrated right now. I mean, there's pressure right there. Here's the bump. Spanoulis throws out the right arm.
And then put the ball in the chest of Holden, and that's what sent it back.
Right.
That's why Holden sent it back at him. The officials deeming that not much there to penalize. Simply the original foul call. It'll be Panathinaikos ball on the side. Out for Spanoulis. Obradovic, the running commentary for whoever is the nearest man in orange that goes by him. Beautiful catch and shoot, and it's good. Jasikevicius pushes the lead back to 17.
And Messina looking a little discouraged as Panathinaikos is just really chewing up the defense for CSKA. And of course, you can do that when you're hitting the baskets, but they moved the basketball very well that last time down and got the good high percentage shot.
Panathinaikos the baseline drive. Now in the hands of Holden. 5 on the shot clock. Off the con screen. Rises up over Batiste. Just tipped the rim now with 8 seconds left. Jasikevic is wide open three. Nicholas buries it with 2 seconds left in the first half. Could it be going any better for Panathinaikos?
And this is a tremendous surprise, a blowout here in the first half of this game as everything is going right for Panathinaikos.
Well, let's examine the pick and roll and its effectiveness in this ball game.
Well, it really has been effective, and they have the guards to run it. Spanolis, they have Jasikevic. Yes, Diamantidis hits the three there, but with Spanolis is very good, and he's got great decision making. They move the basketball. There's Jasikevic who's hitting the ball, hit the three in the corner, but they make great decisions with the basketball.
You really got to give Panathinaikos credit. You remember against Olympiacos, that pick and roll gave them layup after layup. The first option opening up. Here, the first option after the pick and roll and the second were taken away, yet Panathinaikos still got something out of it.
Yeah, they spread the court so well, and so that they know where everybody is, and so as soon as you defend option one, they move to option two, and then they make the extra pass to option three. And right now, they're hitting on all cylinders, so everything is going their way, but they really do run that pick and roll. They run it. It's a significant part of their offense, and then they pass the basketball, and like I said, they just make those good decisions. In Spanolis and Jasikevic in particular can run that screen and roll to perfection.
And the three-point shooting, the open shots that they've gotten out of that have been outstanding. 8 for 14 from three-point range. And it's been everybody. It hasn't been one guy. Spanolis has hit threes. Spotsis has hit threes. Nicholas has. Diamantidis and Jasikevic. As we look at Pekovic, he hasn't got a whole lot done, but he has forced them to focus on him down low.
Yeah, well, he is such a factor in there. His presence alone. Now here he loses the ball. His presence alone is such a tremendous pick there. And he's got this great size and great strength. There's Jasikevic coming off the screen roll. Skips pass all the way to the other side.
Second half underway with a Jasikevic's three-pointer, and it now gives Panathinaikos their biggest lead of the game. Lorbeck inside, and he's fouled. He'll have 2 free throws.
Well, CSKA trying to get Lorbeck started here early in the third quarter. Only had 2 points there the first half. Gets a nice little pass there. Goes up strong. Gets fouled. Doesn't get the roll. There's Jasikevic coming off again. The screen and roll, the pull-up at the beginning to start the third quarter with the three-point shot. And he has really had a tremendous ball game coming off the bench. Now has 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, as well as directing the traffic along with Spanolis at the guard position. They've really made a tremendous impact in this ball game.
Well, Lorbeck able to get 1 of 2 from the line. Just 3 points in the game, got the 2 fouls in the first quarter, sat the rest of the half, and watched his CSKA team get blown off the court. Can they come back? That's the question. This will be a tripping foul on Smodis.
And that's number 3 on Smodis.
Yes, it is. Here's Spanolis. First minute of action in the third quarter. 22-point advantage. Nobody could have predicted this for either side, really. Spanolis in trouble, threw it off the hands of Batiste. Here's Holden. Cross for Kirapa. Smodis working on Batiste. Still working. Goes for the long jump hook. Kirapa the offensive rebound. Smodis for 3 on top. Again, Kirapa crashing. And Langdon fouled from behind by Spanolis.
And that's the kind of intensity and determination as we're starting to see here from CSKA. If they're going to get back in this game, they are going to the offensive boards very hard, in particular Kirapa, but Langdon also in there, and he is able to draw the foul.
2 fouls on Spanolis, national team member, and a couple of years back played about 30 games with the Houston Rockets. Now it's Langdon, who's been very quiet in this one. Just 3 points.
Well, Last year's Final Four MVP. Steps in line, hits 2. Time is of the essence for CSKA.
He is 1 for 4 from the field. And his team is down 20. Jasikevicius misses the 3. Foltz has tried the follow slam, but CSKA has cleared the backboard. Here's the three-point numbers. Unbelievable. A 27-0 shutout on three-pointers being pitched by Panathinaikos against the best three-point shooting team in Euroleague. Just an overwhelming number that it's impossible to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, you really look at it. CSKA, of course, is the best three-point shooting team in Euro. Shot for almost 41% this year, and they have not done anything from behind the line at that particular time.
Langdon drew the foul as he got Jasikevicius up. It's really been the perfect storm of cold shooting from CSKA, hot shooting from Panathinaikos.
Here he draws Jasikevicius off his feet, ducks under. Langdon starting to get more assertive, more aggressive on the offensive end here in this third quarter.
And Langdon cashing in again from the free throw line. But CSKA down 18. Jasikevicius gave up the dribble. Back to Spanoulis. 8 on the shot clock. Spanoulis trying to break down Langdon. Can hit. Rebound cleared by Smotis.
CSKA's doing an interesting job on the defensive end right now. They are starting with the bigs out front and then running the ball handler when he comes off the screen. He then is picked up by the quicker guards.
And the ball could not be saved in by the diving Diamantidis. Rather, Jasikevicius, and it will be CSKA basketball. Jasikevicius bidding to become the first man to win a Euroleague title for 3 different Euroleague champions. 2-time winner with Maccabi, once with Barcelona. Here's Diamantidis ripping the rebound.
See Carapa's on Diamantidis right now.
Jasikevicius dumps it down for Batiste, who is hammered by Carapa.
Great decision by Jasikevicius. Driving into the lane. Drawing the defense at the last minute. Dumps it off to Batiste. Cutting to the basket.
Bolin, part of the brain trust of Itor Messina. Messina winning 4 EuroLeague titles. Tied for second most ever of his opponent today, Obradovic, with 6. And now ever closer to a 7th. One more free throw for Batiste. This is numbers on the season. Splitting time, basically, with Nikola Pekovic. A great 1-2 power combination for Panathinaikos. Back to a 20-point advantage. Batiste has only 4 in this one, but it matters not. Everything else going extremely well for the team from Athens. An error foul in the post-up. Perperoglu pushing against Carapa. J.R. Holden to inbound underneath for the defending champs. Down 20. They made no headway at all in the opening minutes of the third. Langdon to the baseline pull-up. Bank won't go. Rebound Batiste.
And credit Diamantidis for cutting off that lane to the basket, forcing Langdon to pull up and take the jump shot.
Diamantidis directing traffic. 7 on the shot clock. And a foul as Holden battling with Perperoglu. Foul will go against Holden.
Well, Panathinaikos got what they wanted. They got the mismatch, and Holden trying to get around and trying to push Pergolou out. He's trying to play in front of him there, deny the ball. Right idea. The execution got caught, though, for the foul.
It's his second. He'll go to the bench for now. As will Karapa. Planinic up off the bench and into the game, along with Siskauskas. Diamantidis all the way across. Perperoglu. Fotis left alone on top. He hits a three. Panathinaikos continues to be red hot from downtown. 10 of 17 in the game versus 0 for 7 for CSKA. A 30-point differential in one category.
Well, they're getting a contribution from everywhere, from everybody. Excuse me. Fotis, he's got 10 points. He only averages 7 on the game, but the 6'11" steps outside and knocks down to 3.
Second stint with Panathinaikos for Fotis, was part of their Euroleague championship team in 2000. One with Real Madrid. He's been a part of some great championship teams, and Obradovic got to be loving his position right now. Panathinaikos only got in the line 8 times, but they've made them all. Diamantidis spins in traffic. 4 on the shot clock. Now Fotis took a very tough 3, and that one fell away.
And right now, Panathinaikos doesn't have Jasikavic or Spanolis in there, so their pick and roll is just not the same without those two. Obradovic trying, I think, to give him some rest, bide some time here as he leads by 21.
Here's Siskauskas, shot clock running down. Fires the contested long 2. He's got it.
And that was contested. That was a great shot. CSKA looking for Siskauskas to get hot, much like he did in the semis. They need someone to get hot and pick things up here on the offensive end.
Perperoglu behind the back. Almost lost it. 5 on the shot clock. He'll step back for 3. Batiste battles for the rebound, but Langdon takes it.
And the Panathinaikos offense has gotten a little bit stagnant now, settling for the 3, not going inside, as CSKA has picked up their defense the last couple of times down.
In the hands of Planinic, screen from Lorbeck. Planinic to the baseline, Lorbeck on top. Smotis down low against Fotis, and he draws the foul.
Nice high-low action here, bringing Lorbeck to the high post, and then Smotis sneaking in down on the low post on the block. Boy, good defense here. Look at this, right? Hands in his face. Good concentration.
Smotis at the line. A fine free throw shooter, 84% on the Euroleague season. Has the first, but has really struggled to be a factor in this one. Just 4 points on the game. Does have 6 rebounds.
Langdon's got 8, Holden 12, and that's pretty much been the scoring for CSKA.
And Smotis misses the second. 18 points is the deficit.
And Spanolis now back in running the point.
Panathinaikos can afford to be very patient, run this offense. Huge lead, second half. Pekovic down low, 5 on the shot clock. Surrounded, and he'll be called for the travel.
CSKA got a break that time. Pekovic really had great position on Lorbeck. He's just too strong in there. He does shuffle his feet. It's a good call by the official. Gets some help from Smotis. But that could have gone either way. I mean, Pekovic is just too strong for Lorbeck down low. Not a good matchup for CSKA.
Langdon, pull up, long 2, it's good. He's got 10. They're going to need something special from Langdon and a couple others to entertain thoughts here. Lead has been shaved now to 16. It was as high as 23 in the opening possession of the third quarter. And a foul on Panathinaikos. It's Pekovic with an illegal screen.
Where we're going to see here the screen. He moves, he steps back. Could have gone either way, but he does give him a little bit of a hip. And, of course, Panathinaikos, he really sells it. But CSKA, you get the sense they are picking up. They're being a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end.
Pekovic will stay in with the 3 fouls. Lorbeck blocked by Pekovic.
Boy, what a sensational block. He got off his feet real quick for that one.
Spanulis. And Panathinaikos with a 16-point lead. Nicholas backs it out. Now in the hands of Diamantidis. Check the shot clock. Knows he has time. Step back 3. And CSKA clears it. CSKA's getting the stops that they need.
They sure are.
Pull up in transition. Langdon hits. That cuts it to 13. 10 points have been slashed off the Panathinaikos lead. And it'll be a timeout for the Greens. Trajan Langdon, 11 of his 13 points have come here in the third quarter.
Well, if you know, you look back to last year, that's what he did last year. He came on, got the MVP. We're going to take a look at here at Jasikevich here, who's been outstanding today. Nice pass there to Nicholas. Here he comes off the screen, the pull-up. Just a solid point guard. Great leader on the court. Plays with a great deal of confidence.
Great intensity as well. Jasikevich is with 9 points in the game. He won the Euroleague title in 2003 with Barcelona. Then 2 more times in a row with Maccabi for 3 in a row. He's the only man who can claim to have done that. He was the Final Four MVP in 2005, now in his second season with Panathinaikos. And if he can lead them to a victory, he will be the first man to win Euroleague titles with 3 different teams. Really, all Euroleague teams were announced first, second team, and MVP at the banquet yesterday. First team, Turo McIntyre, Juan Carlos Navarro, Igor Rakocevic, Giannis Baroussis, and Nikola Pekovic. And the MVP, of course, as we told you earlier on today, was Juan Carlos Navarro from Barcelona. And back underway. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Panathinaikos off the timeout. Their lead has been cut to 13. We'll see how they handle it. And a foul in the paint.
Either that or 3 seconds.
It'll go against Panathinaikos in either case. Pekovic comes out, replaced by Sartsaris.
I think Pekovic, when he rolls to the basket and plants there, he is solid. At 6'11", he is strong, and you just can't move him out of there. But CSKA's doing a much better job this half of defending this pick and roll.
See if they can continue to chip away. They're within 13. Langdon, trapped in a corner, gives it up. 1 on the shot clock. Planovic will not get it off. So Panathinaikos with a good defensive stand that time.
Well, they did a nice job of really trapping the ball, the ball that time, and then CSKA really a little slow at moving the basketball to the weak side. Panovic just did not have any opportunity to do anything with it.
Another empty trip for Panathinaikos as they're running into a rough spot here for the first time in the game. Their 9th turnover. Lorbeck inside. 2 men around to make it 3. Faking. Got to do something. Blocked by Sartsaris. Indecision by the all-Euroleaguer, and it cost him.
Well, Panathinaikos just had a lot of help from all sides there, collapsing on Lorbeck.
Jasikevich turns it over. 10 turnovers for Panathinaikos, really leaving the door open for CSKA here. And a blocking foul on Panathinaikos on Spanulis.
And the tide is starting to turn. You get a sense now that CSKA, a sense of urgency. Is there moving his feet. Nice call by the official. Spinola's still moving.
It's an 8-0 run for CSKA. After a 21-point advantage. 1 point. It's actually a 23-point Panathinaikos lead. Here's Panathinaikos. Got the second. A 9-0 run for the defending champs. Has them back within a dozen. 1 minute to go in the third. Terrible last 8 possessions for Panathinaikos. 3 missed shots and 5 turnovers. Make it 4 missed shots and 5 turnovers. 0 for 9 on their last 9 possessions. And now some patience shown by CSKA. Well, for a moment anyway. Smotis, back rim 3. Karapa the offensive rebound. Fresh shot clock now. Half a minute to go in the third. Can they get it to 10? Or even single digits? Weaving out front, it's Siskauskas. Still time. 7 on the shot clock. Panathinaikos, 3 on the shot clock. Inside and bodies banging as Karapa was fouled by Tsarksaris.
It is going to get physical, I think, as we go down here in the fourth quarter. The intensity of both of these teams, it is very, very high. Panathinaikos going down, spots Karapa, and he just gets leveled by Tsarksaris, who now sits down with 3 fouls. But CSKA now is playing with a lot more confidence, a lot of focus right now.
And for the first time, Panathinaikos really struggling and less confident. They couldn't miss and were executing to perfection in the first half and the first moments of the third quarter. But CSKA, give them credit. They've gotten this game headed back in their direction.
But CSKA right now is challenging the shooter and really contesting the shots much more than they did in that first half. And as a result, that basket is just getting smaller and smaller for Panathinaikos.
The last 9 possessions for Panathinaikos, 5 turnovers, 4 missed shots. Their 20-plus point lead is down to 10. 4 seconds to go. Spanulis in trouble. Off-balance 3 at the buzzer, and that'll do it for the third quarter. And it comes none too soon for Panathinaikos. Yes, they lead by double digits. They had a 23-point lead, and now they have not scored on their last 10 possessions.
CSKA has really picked up their defense.
The Euroleague championship game, fourth quarter, is coming up. Welcome back to the Euroleague title game. The Final Four from O2 World at Berlin, Germany, where the defending champions at CSKA Moscow find themselves down by 10 entering the fourth, but this is good news for them. They were down 23 early in the third. Mark Brownlow and Hall of Famer Gail Goodrich. And we'll see if the CSKA comeback can continue against Panathinaikos. They have the ball to CSKA to open the fourth quarter. Panathinaikos in a post-up, banks it in, and it's down to a single-digit deficit.
Panathinaikos doing a nice job of really just being patient, backing it in on a one-on-one situation, and then quickly turning for the shot off the board.
It is a 13-0 run. And CSKA has it back within 8. Batiste with 3 men around him. Tries to throw it out of there, and he was fouled as he hits the deck.
And there is no panic in CSKA. They know they're in this ball game here. Here's Panathinaikos. He just backs down. Keep him getting ground, then quickly turns and shoots over the defender, Perkala.
Nicholas to inbound. This is Diamantidis. A game that was so much in Panathinaikos' control, now in question. Batiste backing down Smotis. Back out Diamantidis. And it's two officials apparently with separate calls. It'll be a foul on Panathinaikos for CSKA.
I think CSKA was looking for a 3-second count here. There's a foul right there.
Yep.
On the run out, the closeout.
One minute gone. Panathinaikos challenging Diamantidis and nearly coming up with the steal. Now Carapa will guard Diamantidis. Nicholas, 5 on the shot clock. Forces up an off-balance shot and a foul on Panathinaikos. A push from Sartsaris. It will be his 4th.
And just like that, the CSKA defense is starting to really dictate the game. And Panathinaikos really has lost their offense motion. There is nothing going on offensively for Panathinaikos at this particular moment in time.
11 consecutive trips for Panathinaikos. 0 for 5 from the field and 6 turnovers. Just an incredible drought of ineffectiveness. And now a foul and a post-up. Sartsaris reaching around on Smotis, and that should do it. Sartsaris now with 5. It will have to check out. It's slipping away from Panathinaikos. Sartsaris is done with the 5 fouls. Carapa out for Langdon. Smotis trying to back down Batiste. He's got him in the lane. Fakes and fades and hits. A 15-0 run, and it's back to within 6.
And we got ourselves a ball game.
Diamantidis drives in. Foxes fakes and fires and hits. That was huge.
That was huge is right.
Panathinaikos needed that in a big way. Foxes with 13 points, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Stopping a 15-0 run, and now Panathinaikos gets the turnover. It also stopped an 11-possession futility streak that included 6 turnovers for Panathinaikos. And a bit more breathing room now as the lead is bumped up to 9.
CSKA needs to stop.
Nicholas out. Purparoglu the drive. He'll go to the free throw line.
Smolis with a real nice turnaround jump shot in the post area. Now here's the drive into the lane. The kick out to Fotis. Slow recovery by CSKA. Gets the wide open 3.
Purparoglu will have to try for 1 of 2. Now some anxious moments for the fans of the Greens. Panathinaikos so dominant in the first half and are struggling in the second. That said, they back up to a 10-point lead. First point for Purparoglu, the defensive specialist. Trajan Langdon.
CSKA very patient here, looking to go inside.
4 on the shot clock. Carapa will just fire from well beyond the arc. Purparoglu lets it ride, and Panathinaikos gets another stop.
Not a good offensive sequence for CSKA. Taking a very difficult shot.
Purparoglu spinning on Langdon. Can't get by him. He's going to keep trying to back him down into the lane. Size advantage. Hits the jump hook.
That's his first, that's his first basket.
It is.
Today. Got away, I think, with a little bit of a hook on the left hand on Langdon. Official let it go.
6.5 to go. Holden, screen from Lorbeck. Lorbeck open down low and drops it in.
Nice screen and roll that time by CSKA, the two-man game. Panathinaikos slow to rotate from the weak side.
From way out. That won't go for Nicholas. Batiste, the offensive rebound, and a fresh 24 for Panathinaikos.
They'll run a little time.
Even rebounding battle. That means CSKA's been getting the better of it in the second half. Diamantidis trying to operate on the big man. Out for Purparoglu. Oh, what a shot. Purparoglu was scoreless through 3 quarters. He's got 5 in the opening moments of the fourth, and they were 5 big ones.
And Panathinaikos is coming up with big shots. Everybody contributing.
Actually make it 6 points for Purparoglu in the quarter. And that's going to count a goaltending violation on Fotzis as Planinic skipped through. And a timeout on the floor as Panathinaikos has withstood the huge rally. As we look at that ball, was over the cylinder and heading down.
Yeah, here's Purparoglu right here. Now watch his left arm here. Watch his left arm. I think he's going to wrap it right around Langdon and hook him. He sure did.
He did.
Yes.
And this is the
Boy,
three from Purparoglu.
That's a tough shot right there. Well, he's come on strong.
He has when his team has needed it because nothing was going right during that 15-0 run. As we focus in on the defense of CSKA, it turned it around for him.
Well, they say everything starts at the defensive end, and certainly that's been the case for CSKA here in this third quarter. And then early in the fourth.
Yeah, it provided 11 consecutive stops for CSKA, forcing 6 turnovers and 5 missed shots. They cleared every defensive rebound, and they got themselves back in the game from 23 down to within 6. And that is where Panathinaikos made their stand, and they pushed it back up to double digits. But still plenty of time left. CSKA, it's all about the defense. When they play great defense, they win. Bottom line, they've had a few slip-ups in their losses. This would not be a time for one. The first half was obviously a big problem as they gave up 48 points to Panathinaikos to dig the 20-point hole. 11 points is the Panathinaikos lead at the moment halfway through the fourth. Purparoglu again, this time well short. They've milked that matchup with the size, first over Langdon, then over Holden, but it may be time to look elsewhere now. Planinic breaking it down from on top. Won't go. Batiste had the rebound but lost it. Karapa comes out with it. Whoa! And is fouled as Nicholas went right over the top of him.
Boy, you gotta like the effort and the intensity of Karapa. He is extremely active on that offensive boards, coming in from the weak side. Now takes the ball out, and he just flips Nicholas there as he goes up. Nicholas leaves his feet. Obvious foul.
Siskowski's catch and shoot. It's a 3, and CSKA's back within 8.
And here comes CSKA. There is no quit. They've got great poise, great will, and in the past they've always found a way to win. We'll see if they can do it tonight.
Plenty of time left, almost 4.5 minutes. Nicholas with a quick release. Planinic the rebound. Just over 4 to play. Planinic against the 6'10 Fotzis. Wants to break him down. Takes it in, right back out Siskowskis. Left his feet, now Smotis to beat the shot clock. Planinic saves it into Karapa. Siskauskas an open look. Smotis the rebound. Another chance for CSKA. Into the hands of Holden for the first time in the possession. Into the lane. The whistle before, so no shot. The foul on the floor committed by Fotis, and that should be his fourth.
And CSKA right now is just out hustling Panathinaikos on this offensive sequence here. There's the shot there by Holden, the foul, but they are just out hustling Panathinaikos right now. Here's the shot by Siskauskas. And CSKA says, we're coming. Jasikevich has checked back into the game.
J.R. Holden was the only thing keeping CSKA from being down 30 in the first half, as he had 12 points, but Holden hasn't scored since. Jasikevich is back in for Panathinaikos. Non-shooting foul, no bonus yet. So CSKA ball on the side. This is Holden. It was the fourth on Fotis. Siskauskas stumbling and driving, but a foul on Panathinaikos. It could be Fotis.
And Obradovic cannot believe it. He thought there was a travel call as he stumbles in. Diamantidis is actually in pretty good position here. There's a contact, though. I like the call.
Here's what I'm going to throw out to you. It looked like the ball was already coming out when the contact happened. That's probably what Panathinaikos is upset about.
Nice soft shooter's roll.
Siskauskas. He's already missed 2 free throws today. That'll be enough. We wouldn't expect for him to miss again, but he does.
Oh my!
But somehow CSKA's got the rebound.
CSKA, like I said, they are really just out hustling Panathinaikos right now. The sense of urgency. 3 minutes to go.
Holden straight down the lane. The help was nowhere to be found. It is down to 5. First points of the second half for Holden, and they were huge. He's got 14. Jasikevicius behind the screen. Spinoulis shakes and fires and hits.
How big a shot was that?
Enormous. Hadn't scored since the opening minutes of the second quarter. Now he's got 13, and the lead is pushed back to 8 under 3 minutes to go. Karapa left all alone on top, and he hits. It's back to 5. Karapa doing a little bit of everything at the moment. He's got 9 in the game.
Langdon on Jasikevich.
Fotis from deep in the corner.
Not a good shot. Too quick.
Holden to Smotis. Against Fotis, who's got the 4 fouls. Backs him deep. Fakes him and fades. And it falls out. Diamantidis pulls it down. Under 2 minutes left for the Euroleague championship.
High screen and roll.
And a foul on Trajan Langdon. Just the second on Langdon.
They fall off Karapa. He says, okay, I'm just going to knock it down. Swish.
Into the hands of Spinoulis. Here's Fotis, swings to Diamantidis. Drop down to the baseline is Batiste. Quick spin and fouled from behind by Karapa. The ball rolls out. It was very close to a 3 try.
Terrific spin move by Batiste. CSKA is playing small right now. Karapa's forced to guard the bigger Batiste. Batiste just feels the body pressure, turns and spins, goes right to the basket, draws the foul. Now we'll go to the line. Batiste he's an average free throw shooter at 70% on the year.
And he has ties the first. It's not been a big scoring day for Batiste. He's taken officially just 2 shots from the field. 5 points now. Made all his free throws. And he gets the second. Can Panathinaikos survive? You get the feeling they're holding on for dear life. Back to a 7-point advantage, under a minute and a half. Inside Kirapa, surrounded, gives to Smotis. That's a 3.
And we're down to 4.
It's as close as it's been.
Messina says no fouls.
9 points for Smotis.
Panathinaikos spreads the court.
This is Spanoulis. Poked away by Kirapa. Still 6 on the shot clock. Spanoulis shaking. Step back long 2. Won't even hit the rim. And it will go over to CSKA with 50 seconds left. A look of disgust on the face of Obradovic.
Yeah, not a good offensive sequence at all. Good defense by CSKA. The poke away by Kirapa, really forcing the clock to run down, and Spanolis having to go one-on-one against a very good defender in J.R. Holden.
It was 51-28 after the Jasikevich's 3 to start the third quarter. It is down to a 4-point game. Fotis has just fouled out.
This is interesting. Look at Siskauskas. He's running the point. They're trying to spring him loose off of Diamantidis. And then the foul on Fotis on the screener. As Messina continues to shuffle the lineup, shuffle the plays in an effort here in the closing seconds to tie this ball game up.
So Fotis has fouled out with a fine performance. 13 points, 8 rebounds on the game, and he also had an enormous 3 to stop the bleeding when they were down on a 15, on the wrong end of a 15-0 run. When CSKA had cut it to 6 in the early fourth, he hit a huge 3 to extend it to 9. But we keep going back over that same territory. CSKA not giving in and edging ever closer.
You must not wait. You gotta move. Okay? Then, if we are down 2 and we have only 1 play, we're gonna hit the 3. Is it fair? Faced with 4, you roll, you fall. Period.
Well, some good information coming from that Idor Messina huddle.
Yeah, it really it was. I mean, he says, look at, he's planning ahead. If we get down 2, then we got the shot. We're going for the 3.
Going for the win.
Was going for the win.
He is thinking at least 2 steps ahead.
Yep.
That's why he's won 4 Euroleague titles.
Exactly. I'm a little surprised that he says that we're going for the 3. Put it all on the line, but, he's been there before. And you can't second guess him.
Well, the 3 has been a huge weapon for them this season. The best 3-point shooting team in Euroleague. Today, though, just 1 of 9. With great confidence in his shooters under those situations to say if the game's on the line, we're going for the win from 3. In any event, still more to come here as Victor Kirapa has 2 free throws. Trying to cut the 4-point lead.
Ooh. In and out.
.75% free throw shooter on the season, give or take. He missed them both. Diamantidis the rebound. 4-point Panathinaikos lead, 35 seconds left. Siskauskas tries to poke it free. And a 10-second violation in the backcourt? How can it be? There's still 16 seconds on the shot clock. If the shot clock says 16 and it starts at 24, how can it be 10 seconds?
That's a good question. Something's wrong. It can't be. The officials say it is.
It's a mathematical impossibility. It's a 10-second violation that took only 8 seconds.
16 segundos, ¿no lo viste? Por favor.
Obradovic cannot believe it in this situation. It's the only kind of call that perhaps could prevent a Panathinaikos victory. They have the ball, half a minute left, and a 4-point lead. And that'll be a kick violation. If somehow CSKA pulls this one out, that will be debated for decades.
He needs a space. He needs a space. You come back. You let's step back, okay?
Official saying he needs
Security
space.
is too close to the floor as they're trying to hold the fans back from a potential floor rush. Langdon puts it into Smotis. 30 seconds to go. CSKA. Siskauskas. The three! Puts it to one!
What a big shot by Siskauskas.
The game still in the control of Panathinaikos, but feeling less and less so with every bounce of the ball here. 23 seconds to go. Panathinaikos with a 1-point lead. There's a 1-second shot clock, game clock differential. CSKA's not going to wait. They attack. This trap is escaped, and there the foul given by Karapa, and it will send Demetrius Diamantidis to the line.
And Mancini, of course, wants the 5-second count.
Well, he got a 10-second count after 8 seconds.
He says, well, I got a 10-second. Let's see if I can go for 5.
So Karapa,
he fouls out.
Fouls out with his 5th. So a versatile player is lost there for CSKA. Just 10 seconds to go. Diamantidis will go to the line. He has been just an absolutely stellar performer. And the Final Four MVP the last time these two met in the Euroleague title game 2 years ago. 85% free throw shooter on the season. He's got the first.
Big free throw. 1 possession game.
No matter what he does, and Diamantidis hits them both. There will be a timeout for CSKA. They will have one chance to come down and tie this game. So with that timeout, we're trying in every way to understand that 10-second call that happened, and we're being told by our production crew that they have rolled it back with official time code and said it took 8 seconds.
Well, that's more than 5 right there. So I think Mancini was right. However,
slow motion.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I think that I think Mancini was right on that call. But I think the officials blew the 10-second.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Call.
From the 24-second clock, they called the 10-second violation at 16 seconds, which to our naked eye is 8 seconds. But what we're telling our viewers out there is that in our production facilities here, we rolled it back using official time code, and it was in fact only 8 seconds that was used. So therefore, the 10-second call by the officials so clearly in error and not even close. Will it cost Panathinaikos? Well, we don't know yet. Right now, they're clinging to a 3-point lead with 10 seconds to go. And CSKA has the ball.
And CSKA has 3-point shooters on the floor. Siskauskas, Holden, Langdon, Smotis, all can knock down threes with regularity. Who's going to take the last shot? Langdon or Siskauskas, in my opinion.
Looking in and listening to that huddle, you can see there is no shortage of belief among that group. Smotis will inbound. CSKA needs a 3 to tie. Siskauskas and Diamantidis, and there's the bump out front.
Smart foul. Now he shoots 2.
They do not want to be in a position of giving a great 3-point shooter a 3-point shot to tie. So Diamantidis, the only man to ever win the Euroleague Defensive Player of the Year award, the 5 years of its existence. Makes the smart defensive play, the percentages.
Yeah, they played the percentages. Now if he hits 2, CSKA will go for the steal on the inbound pass. If you don't get the steal, you've got to make the quick foul and make this a free throw shooting game and extend the game.
He has the first. This to cut it to 1. And he's got that. 8.5 seconds left. The pressure will be coming, and no doubt a quick foul. And Messina checking that he has 1 more timeout left. This would be one for the ages. A 23-point comeback victory if it happens for CSKA. But still, Panathinaikos in control of their destiny. But that control has been slipping away for almost every moment of the second half.
Yeah, it really has. And if I'm Panathinaikos, I want to make sure on this inbound pass that I'm going north and south. I don't want to go east and west, throwing the ball from sideline to sideline, because that's when you take a chance of an interception. So you want to go forward with the ball towards your basket with that pass.
The last lead for CSKA was a mid-first quarter. They were up 12-11.
Do everything in one motion. When you go, swing at the same time.
CSKA will go for the steal. If they don't get the steal, the quick foul.
Stranger things have happened. That is for sure. Still pressure on Panathinaikos to execute and hold their poise. They've barely been able to do that after the incredible CSKA surge in the second half.
You know, you flash back to 07.
And there's the inbound. And Yesikevich is escaping momentarily before he was fouled by Langdon. So precious seconds slipping away. Obradovic saying he did not play the ball, so he wants an intentional. He's not getting that.
No, he's not going to get that at all.
Well, there's a lot at stake here.
Panathinaikos has who they want on the line, and Yesikevich.
He is the #1 all-time Euroleague free throw shooter for a career, just under 93%.
CSKA will call timeout after these free throws. Oh, my, he missed.
How about the whammy there? Well, Messina may have his chance. Down 2 to try a 3.
They still have a timeout left.
Yesikevich just hits the second. But this one very much in doubt. 5.8 seconds left and a 2-point Panathinaikos lead. And there is the timeout. You know, at the start of this game, I wouldn't be surprised to say this is the point we'd be at.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
It was a 23-point Panathinaikos lead on the first possession of the third quarter. I never would have believed it.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, Panathinaikos played perfect basketball that first half, and just, you know, they did everything right. CSKA came out in the third quarter, picked up their defense. Panathinaikos started to miss shots, and pretty soon we got a ball game. And CSKA has the ability of a champion. You've seen them do it many times before. They did it in the semis where they were down for 3 quarters and then figured out a way to win. Can they do it tonight?
Guys, let's play defense. Let's play defense. Be aggressive. Defense. If they try to penetrate, go down to be 3 points.
All comes down to one possession. An entire Euroleague season. Panathinaikos is ready. They're ready to run out there, but they've got some more time during the timeout. Now Messina's CSKA group coming out. What do they have in store here? Only down 2. Their options are wide open and nearly 6 seconds to do it.
Yeah, and I wonder if Messina wants to go for the 3 now.
Modus to inbound. Siskauskis. 2 seconds left. Fires for the 3 and the win. And that is it. Falls away. Panathinaikos is your EuroLeague champion for 2009. A bit of a halting embrace for the two legendary coaches. And the 5th EuroLeague championship for Panathinaikos, and an unprecedented 7th for Zeljko Obradovic.
A tough loss for CSKA after fighting back from down 23, but just a great victory for Panathinaikos. A great final. And you look back at 07, it was a 2-point ball game as well, in which Panathinaikos won the championship.
A higher scoring affair in that one, but nonetheless down to the end.
He
Not
had
a bad look.
He had a good look. The ball just hits that front rim and then bounces away.
And Smotis had a wild tap attempt that may or may not have come after the buzzer, but in any event, that missed as well. There are the two coaches' reactions. They'll take it any way they can get it. Panathinaikos dominant on the way to a 20-point first half lead, a 23-point lead early in the second, and then clinging to that lead. It was cut as close as one before surviving 73-71. Zeljko Obradovic padding his EuroLeague record for titles. No one else as a head coach has ever won more than 4. He has now won 7, 4 times with Panathinaikos. He'll take a timeout and be back with more of the celebration from Berlin. Well, in the aftermath of EuroLeague celebration, the 7th title for Zeljko Obradovic, Panathinaikos gets their 5th all-time crown. And they repeat what they did 2 years ago, defeating CSKA for the championship. There they are, by the slimmest of margins in each case. In 2007, it was on Panathinaikos' home floor as it all came together. They hosted the Final Four and ended up in the championship game. This year, they had to do it against CSKA on a neutral floor at O2 World in Berlin, and they were up to the task.
So we can begin with the awards. To present the runner-up medal, Mr. Eduardo Portela, president of the ULEB, and Mr.
There is the hardware about ready to be handed out to the winners.
Of Greece will do us the honor of giving the medals to our runner-up.
The big EuroLeague Cup for the organization, individual replicas for each man, and an MVP award to be given out. And that's going to be a tough one to come up with, isn't it, Gail? As Panathinaikos had balance and no single star in this particular game.
Yeah, I think the balance is really was the key to their victory. I mean, you look at Jasikevic had 10, Diamantidis 10, Fotis 13 and 8 rebounds, an outstanding game. Spinolis 13. Jasikevic had 4 rebounds and 4 assists was a factor. If I had to pick one,
you can look back to yesterday, too, of course, because it's the Final Four. But you had 4 stars yesterday. Pekovic and Batiste, neither of whom were big factors today.
I'm thinking of Spinolis. Yeah. I think he really set the tempo and ran the show out there, as well as got good numbers.
He had 18 yesterday, 13 today, so he consistently in each game was among the top players. As CSKA gets their 2nd place medals. 7 straight trips to the Final Four for this great organization. 4 straight trips to the championship game. 2 championships in there, but twice denied by this team, Panathinaikos.
Player of this final championship game. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the MVP award is Vasilis Spanoulis, number 6.
Well, if you could hear the public address announcer, there it was, Vasilis Spanoulis being awarded the Most Valuable Player award for the Final Four. EuroLeague 2009 Final Four MVP. Let's see some of the moments that got him the award.
Yeah, I think it's a good selection. I mean, he really ran the show from the point position. He really penetrated, created the action, came outside, hit the jump shots. Just a consistent performance, and of course he had a great performance in the semis. I mean, but today you look at it, and you know, he really led the attack and led the offense. I mean, you could have given it to a lot of players. Like I said, they had a lot of balance, and certainly that was one of the keys to their victory. But I think it's a good selection.
An all Euroleague second team selection, but he'd give that away in a heartbeat if he had to trade it for this, but he doesn't. He can have them both. Mike Batiste coming in to grab a Euroleague championship for the second time in 3 years. And but Panathinaikos, who fell far short in defense last year of their 2007 title, could not get back to the Final Four. And now, right back on the podium.
Well, you know, this is a team, if you look at, they only have 5 players that from the championship 2 years ago that are still on this team. So they had 7 players that had not been to the Final Four. For them to come out and win this championship, it's a great season.
Sarunas Jasikevičius joining, well, putting himself in a singular category, really, in fact, having now won EuroLeague titles with 3 different teams. One in 03 with Barcelona, then 04 and 05, going back-to-back with Maccabi, and now helps lift Panathinaikos. Well, there are plenty of Panathinaikos fans in the arena enjoying this one, and millions more at home in Greece. There will certainly be some ouzo flowing in Greece today.
And now, behind the podium,
Nikola Pekovic just brought over. Gets the payoff in his first year with Panathinaikos. Drew Nicholas. Big part of things, 7 first-half points as they built a 20-point advantage. And then having to withstand a furious comeback and a bit of a collapse of their own.
There is nothing better as a player at the end of the season when you can stand up on that podium and be a champion. They reached their goal.
To receive the trophy.
And now the team to be presented with the EuroLeague championship hardware.
Gives the champion trophy to the captain, Dimitris.
Oh, they're bringing Alvirdas out front. Not in uniform, but the 19-year, always Panathinaikos player invited to join in. On the roster, but not the active roster for the Final Four. Street clothes for Alvirdas. A man who has now been associated with all 5 EuroLeague championships for Panathinaikos. So the celebration flowing for another EuroLeague title. Second in 3 years for Panathinaikos. And they defeat the vaunted CSKA team on both of those occasions. Both times when Panathinaikos won it, they had to face the defending champ CSKA. Both times they came up with 2-point thriller victories. Well, the Final Four from O2 World had Olympiacos, Barcelona, Panathinaikos, CSKA. In the end, it came down to the two great champions of the last 4 years.